A lot of people who want Conservative government are sick of all the Greta Thunberg stuff on the environment. And on the other hand, kissing up to the Greta Thunberg types hasn't got him anywhere, because Greta Thunberg isn't putting in a word for Boris. So what was the point in political terms of kissing up? He has actually got to learn a lesson here, which is not something one often says about Boris Johnson.
Yeah, that's a very good point. And, Greta's not going to be rescuing Boris Johnson here. And I think the entire sort of environmental agenda that is being pushed is hugely expensive, is counterproductive for the British economy. I think it's very unpopular as well. I don't think there's anything to be gained for the Conservatives in pushing ideas that are normally pushed forward by the left here. And I think, a key lesson for the Prime Minister to learn, if indeed he survives this, series of scandals, is that ultimately his survival will rest upon his willingness to project conservative ideas and principles, because ultimately it will be the right of the Conservative Party that will save Boris if indeed he survives as Prime Minister. And the right of the Conservative Party wants to see the Conservative Party leading based upon Thatcherite conservative principles, not based upon ideas that some of them perhaps recycled from, New Labour and so on. So we need to see Boris Johnson really being a Churchillian, Thatcherite-style Prime Minister.
Well, there's a rather tiresome political cliche that you're familiar with in Washington, that they always say, a bit of down-home, corn-pone, folksy wisdom. You got to dance with them what brung you. The ones who brung Boris to number 10 were, on the one hand, traditional Tories who, after over a decade now of Conservative prime ministers, feel the country's getting less conservative. And at some point, they're just, as in North Shropshire, they might just decide to stay home.
Yeah, I think the beating heart of the Conservative Party base is actually, still very conservative. And I think that most Conservative Party members would be in favour of a Conservative Party that moves back towards the right rather than moving to the left. I think that's where the base of the Conservative Party is. Of course, they brought on board large numbers of new voters, many of them former Labour voters who have been brought over, of course, by the prospect of Brexit. But I think that the heart of the Conservative Party, the grassroots, remains those who fundamentally believe that the Conservative Party should be about advancing, the legacy of Winston Churchill and Margaret Thatcher and great Conservative predecessors. That is the base of the Conservative Party at this time. It would be a huge mistake, I think, for the Conservatives to abandon the heart of Middle England. And Margaret Thatcher always used to say that in order to win elections, you have to understand the beating heart of Middle England. And I think that is absolutely 100% right here.